And away we go.
Hi, everybody.
Hi, everybody.
How are you? Hey, Black Knight. How you doing? Hope all is going well. And we got John McJunkin, who's wondering if he's the first person or not.
Number 2. He's number 2.
Hey, Kamian, how are you doing? And then we got Nerd. And then the other people that are here that hasn't said anything. Hey to all of y'all. Pastor Rick. How you doing, Pastor Rick? Glad that y'all could make it and hang out with us for this time.
Yes, I have the crown. Mina says, yay, the crown. I had it with me today. As many of you are aware, I did a live this morning from the Retro Toy Swap. I was on for like an hour and 6 minutes. There's Robert.
Oh, yes, it's his birthday today. Robert's birthday
I saw that
today.
in the comment section. That's right.
Let's all say happy birthday to Robert.
We're not singing.
No. We're not going to sing. We're just going to say happy birthday, Robert.
We can sing like Stevie Wonder. Happy birthday to you.
Happy birthday, Robert. Sure. Hope you had a good day. Take yourself out to dinner and some ice cream and a movie. Yeah, something like that. Go hang out with family and friends and do something nice. They call me in number 2.
Number 2, like in Austin Powers. Remember number 2 in Austin Powers? Which they stole that from Blofeld from James Bond. Anyway, almost all of it was a parody of James Bond films.
Oh, okay.
But I had we had the retro toy swap this morning. Some of you were there.
Yes.
And had a good time. It was an hour and 6 minutes. I see blue splashes there.
Hey, David.
And Patrick
Pastor Rick. Pastor Rick.
Pastor, not Patrick. made a donation for the kitties. And I got a big story about the cats. I'm gonna get into here in a few minutes.
Big story about the cats.
It's a big story about the cats. A lot has been going on.
Yeah.
But
thank you, Pastor Rick.
We
really appreciate it.
It helps.
Yeah.
We need all the help we can get right now. But we had the show this morning. I did the walkthrough. Yeah, there's nothing back here. This is actually a home office that you're seeing. We are not in a collection room because everything is down.
Yeah.
Everything is down.
Yeah.
So we're in the home office right now. But had a good time there. The one guy with all of the vintage like Marks and Ideal stuff really knocked me out, but I couldn't do it.
No.
I just couldn't do it. It was just it was too much.
Yeah.
It would have been too expensive. I would have loved to have picked up a few things from him. There were several things that I saw that was just like, oh man, you got to be kidding me. And I would have loved to have taken it home. I would have loved to have taken a lot of that stuff home.
Yeah.
And he had multiples. Like he had that, what is it, Lucky the Lion from Marks? I forget. It's a motorized lion, and it came in a box with a whip and everything.
Oh, wow.
Because you're supposed to pretend to be a lion tamer.
Oh, okay.
He said he had like a half a dozen of them at home.
Yeah, he had 2 there.
Including boxed versions.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh my God, dude.
What is a leaderboard?
On their end now, the YouTube has gotten into doing like icons and things like that.
Yeah.
Marks like they do on Facebook.
Oh, okay.
And we can't really see it, but they can see it.
Oh, okay.
And it has something to do with like how I guess interactive. It's some kind of rating system, from what I understand.
It seemed like childish.
It's like getting the little gold. I got a gold star. I got a red star.
You know what that makes me think of? Like demerits or something. Like you did something good. here's a demerit. You did something bad, I'm gonna take 5 demerits from you.
Oh yeah.
It makes me feel like that. I've never seen it because I don't. When I watch YouTube and live stuff like this, I'm looking at it on TV.
Okay.
So I don't look at it on my phone, but I don't know if they do it on the TV. I never paid no attention.
Yeah, Blue Splash, the Inhumanoids. I had. I wish I had seen those sooner. Those were not out when I did the initial walkthrough.
Oh, okay.
I would have gotten them. They were the big ones, but they were loose.
Oh.
Rumor has it he sold those for $25 a pop. And I'm like, you got to be kidding me. They're worth way more than that. And they just ended up going to, I believe, some other vendor. I hate seeing that sort of thing. Yeah. I would have brought those suckers home. I have mostly sealed. We both do. But I'm not above loose stuff, believe me. And there will be a haul video that should be coming out tomorrow.
Yeah. No, we haven't heard about Disney layoffs. Oh,
I don't know why there's a number. I'm not sure what that means either. And Michael says, do you have a Rainbow Bright Murky? She does not have Murky. She does have a couple of boxed original of the sprites, but not Murky, who's like anti-sprite. But
he did have color though. And I don't think he was really all that bad. I think he just kind of went along.
No, he was just dopey.
Yeah.
And he just went along with whatever Murky said. But he wasn't really a bad guy, and he actually liked the colors, and he liked the flowers, and he liked all of that stuff. But it is what it is. Now, I did have the crown, of course, at the show. I did not wear it because it was like 96 or something obscene outside, and it was very humid as well. And I was just like, I'll just leave the crown in the car.
Hey, Renard, you're only 6 minutes late.
Shame on you.
That bad.
That's demerits.
We heard about badly Disney got crushed in the stock market this last week.
$1.9 billion drop. Haven't heard that.
Thank God I don't have Disney stocks.
Haven't heard that. But we did do pickups, and like I said, I'm not above. There will be again a video coming out tomorrow with the haul, as it were. I got a couple of pieces sitting there. Like I picked this up. Yeah, this is loose. It's the kayaking set from Fisher-Price Adventure People, and this guy had bags of these sets loose.
Okay.
And the prices were just really, really cheap. And I was like, man, I'll just take them all. And I grabbed a bunch of these. I'll do something with them. Because the Fisher-Price Adventure People, fantastic toy series. Oh, Raccoon is here.
She changed her
icon. Yeah, that's from what is it? That's from Gargoyles, the
animated Gargoyles. Okay.
You see, you're a couple of kayakers here, but the Fisher-Price Adventure People was probably one of the best toy lines of the 70s and 80s. Very underrated, but yeah, I love that series, and I'll take the card or the box if I can find it. But if as cheap as these were, I couldn't pass it up.
Oh, okay.
Couldn't pass it up. But like I said, the haul video will be up tomorrow. You can see the cats walking back and forth behind us.
I don't know if they can see him. The thing too high.
Monkey, I just saw a monkey on the image there. Blue Splash has been shopping on Whatnot. Thought about giving it another try. The prices are higher than eBay. Just ridiculous, but found some good deals also. If it's a well-known seller, they can get away with a lot. But if no, they're wearing wetsuits, Robert. He's asking if he had a skirt on. They're wearing wetsuits. It's just, it just looks funny.
Yeah.
But most people on Whatnot apparently don't fare very well.
Yeah.
And so you can get a lot of deals that way.
Yeah, you have to be on there for a while and build up a following and get good ratings and do all that.
Yeah, it also helps if Whatnot is promoting you.
Yeah.
Which you've heard about that before. You saw that especially with a lot of comic vendors where Whatnot was in their pocket and they could do no wrong. But another weird piece that I picked up, and just a preview of what I'm going to be showing here. Check these out. Anybody know what those are? They look like candles, but they're not. They're not candles. They feel like a candle and it looks like a candle, but it's not a candle. And what these actually are Wizard air fresheners from the 80s. Who remembers Wizard air fresheners?
I don't remember them.
Yeah, see, still got the labels on them. And I love how the label warns you not to eat it. You see that? It says not to be eaten. Not to be eaten. Don't eat this. Don't give this to your kid. No, don't eat Frankenstein. Bad. And I love how they only painted the front. But it was Halloween themed, vintage 80s. It was just so weird. No blue splash. They're not salt shakers. And the weird part is they still work. Because
I don't think they're fresh in a room.
When I put these in the tote, right? When I open the tote, poof. Seriously, the odor just came out. These still work. And I'm like, these are made in the 80s and they still work. You get a modern air freshener and it's dead in a couple of weeks. And it has a stupid chip in it that you plug in that lets you know, oh, it doesn't work anymore, time to replace it. But these damn things are still functioning.
It's not going to freshen a room, though.
Maybe not, but I mean, the fact that there's any odor at all, and then I can put these in a tote, and then it'll fill the tote with that odor is kind of surprising to me. Plus, they look.
A tote.
Plus, it looks really cool. Come on, it's like these things are like cool. These things are like 40 years old, and they still have a smell. I'm not sure what they smell like. It's kind of hard to describe. Like. It smells like an 80s bathroom. Yeah. I don't know. Oh, I don't know if that's good or bad. But yeah, they just look so cool.
I remember the air fresheners. You know, it was like a top and you turn it and then it had like the inside thing, but then that part would dry up.
And the more you turned it, the more odor was supposed to come out.
Yeah.
It was like some kind of wax or something.
Yeah, but then it would dry out. Yeah. But it seemed like when it dried out, people never replaced it.
No, they just
you always see it all dried out.
And it'd be clumped with dust and cobwebs and stuff.
Man.
I know what you're talking about.
I remember that thing.
You know,
I don't know who made one of
those. They made one of those as a toilet paper roller with slats in it. Did you ever see that one?
That came back because I've seen a commercial. No, you know what? It wasn't. It didn't come back. We were watching one of those vintage game shows with the commercials, and it was advertised. So then when you pull a roll, the air freshener would
it covers up your sins in the bathroom.
That's how I saw. Yeah, because I remember seeing it recently, but it didn't come back. It was on one of those shows. Yes. They're trying to get a good vintage creature from the Black Lagoon. Been tough.
The older I know Universal Monsters cranks out and cranks out and cranks out. The older it is, the more expensive it gets.
Yeah.
And there's some like AHI monster stuff of the Universal Monsters can be astronomically expensive.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's crazy. Robert says they should do air fresheners of characters. They don't do that as much. No, they don't do that stuff anymore.
Hey, Legends how are you?
And Renard says the retro toy swap was great. It's typically a good show. Last time was a little bit disappointing because it was more modern stuff.
Yeah, it was a lot of modern.
When we were accustomed. There goes Monkey walking by in the background there. That we are accustomed to seeing at that show. But this one made up for it. You know, we've always had luck at the retro because, you know, and I talked about it in the live, it attracts people who are not vendors. Because the spot is only $20.
Yeah.
So, you know, if you go into a convention, I've got all this collection I want to get rid of. And people are like, I don't want to pay $400 or $500 for a table.
Yeah.
Because it can get like that.
Yeah.
But for $20 for the retro, and all these people come out that are not vendors. There's people at that show that will only go to the retro.
Yeah.
Because they don't want to pay the bigger prices. They don't even want to pay the $100 table at certain shows. You know how it is?
Yeah. Yeah, I got a couple of things. The last time I was there was a vendor and he had some vintage Ninja Turtles. And he was there again with more vintage Ninja Turtles. And he sells them so cheap. I mean, really cheap, because I wasn't going to get vintage Ninja Turtles because the price is high. And every time I looked at it on eBay, they were over $100. But this guy sells them for under, and it can actually go in the way he sells it. It can go in David's 90s affordable
video.
Affordable toys video. That's how cheap he sells it.
Yeah.
And then, of course, if you get more than one, because I got 4, and he was like, okay, I'll do this for it.
It's like,
and it knocked it down. I'm like, wow, okay. Yeah. I got 4 of those, and I got 3 records, and then David got me a sit and spin. They had somebody had a sit and spin.
It was a Care Bear.
Yeah, it was a Care Bear sit and spin. I don't know what child, even a toddler or infant, can't fit in that thing. It's so small, but it looks good, and it fits in with my Care Bears theme, so I got it. And it's really nice. So if you look at the haul video, you see it.
It'll be out tomorrow.
On the early live stream, the new Simpsons figures were on clearance at my. Oh, really?
Munin, who has Simpsons figures right now?
Wasn't it NECA?
Is it NECA? Or is
I don't know.
Oh, you know what? The only people I know doing Simpsons right now is Super 7. They had Ultimates, right?
Oh, okay.
But yeah, you can still get the Playmates ones cheap. Legends got a nostalgic tattoo: American traditional eagle versus a snake applied by an actual coil versus modern rotary machine. You get a big bicentennial 1776 tattoo.
Oh, okay. They had a big festival at the Harley Davidson shop last weekend.
We didn't go,
but we drove by, and they had like a big to do. All of the uncarded, all of the bikers were out there. They had like food and just a whole lot of stuff. It looked like it would be cool, if you went there.
Mm-hmm.
Caveman Leo and with Dino.
No, they had a Caveman series towards the end.
Oh, okay.
Playmates did. Mm-hmm. Now the downside of today's show, and I did mention this during the live stream, was that because of some kind of conflict with the people that own that mall and own that area, they wanted Retro to limit it to 3 lanes this time instead of 4, which means that they had to turn vendors away. There were more people that wanted to come and set up and could not. And I'm like, that hinders the growth, and it actually stimulates sales in that area. Yeah. When they do a retro, why shooting yourself in the foot? It's unfortunate. And they were like, they were actually turning vendors away. There's so many people wanted to come out today, and they were like, no, we don't want you opening up a 4th lane anymore.
But that's so crazy because everybody, all of the people that come to buy goes into the antique mall.
Oh yeah, it generates business.
Yeah, they go look around because it's right there. So you always go walk around, you pick up something, you go to the bathroom, you're like, oh, okay, let me see that. And it's other vendors in there. It's a lot of toy and comic vendors in there.
Yeah.
So, and then they only do it 6 times a year. So for 6 Saturdays a year, out of all of the Saturdays in a year, 6 of them you have, your parking lot is taken up. Okay, those people that complain don't come to your mall 6 times a year.
Yeah, I bet you on any other Saturday, there ain't nobody in that lot.
No.
So it's why, again, like I said, why shoot yourself in the foot? It's generating business. They got food vendors out there. It's a big to-do. A lot of people know about the retro. It's like I've said it a million times. It's one of the best hidden gem toy shows in Georgia.
Yeah.
It's not one of the big shows, but it's big enough, and it draws people to be vendors that you won't find at the shows. Like that guy who always has the 60s stuff that I show, that I get stuff from time to time, that he will only do the retro. He only does the retro. You won't find him anywhere else. And the stuff he brings, you don't see at other shows.
Yeah.
Yeah. And Blue Splash says, that's not good. They want to cut back on the swap like that.
Yeah. And like I said, it's only 6 times a year. So it's not once a month. It's not every weekend. If it was every weekend, you can be like, okay, that makes sense. It's 6 Saturdays a year. And I don't know how many Saturdays in a year. Well, it got to be like 52 because it's 52 weeks. So roughly 50, 52. And you taking 6?
This is 6 out of 52. So,
and again,
46 Saturdays, you're fine.
Yeah. So, and like I said, the person that complains doesn't come there 6 times a year.
Blue Splash wants to know if the FarleyCon has good toy vendors with a lot of vintage.
We went there once. We did like it when we went. Mm-hmm. They had good toys. They had a good, healthy mix of toys and comics. Mm-hmm. For some reason,
it's been a while since we've
last
been there,
year. Yeah, because last year it was going on the exact same time something else was going on. I don't remember what. I don't know if it was like Joe Lanta or something. Something was going on at the exact same time. So we went to whatever else because it was closer. But we have been to FarleyCon and we did like it. And they had a healthy mix of comics and toys when we went.
And of course, the next show that we'll be at is the Joe Fest.
Yeah,
there's like several. Yeah, there's several coming up here, but it's the Joe Fest that we'll end up at. We've been invited out to.
Yeah.
Robert says like they don't want swap meets or cons unless they can make a lot of money. Okay. But I mean, they were because it increases their business.
Yeah, because people went inside the mall.
Yeah.
And they walked around, they bought things, and they sell, I don't know, soaps and stuff in there and candy and all kinds of stuff. So people were buying things. It's just, I don't know. That's how people are. You always got those whiners and complainers that even though something don't affect them, they got something to say about it.
Sure.
And it's just ridiculous. Limiting the amount of space for the toy show was dumb on there. It was. They bowed the knee to about 3 or 4 loudmouth, just like that saying, say the squeaky wheel gets the oil.
Yeah, sometimes the squeaky wheel gets replaced too.
Yeah.
Patrick is with us.
Hi, Patrick.
Now the cats. Okay, because I know this is the last time we were on. This was a couple of weeks ago. Last time we did a live stream, I wasn't doing very well. I was actually pretty upset. Now the reason that I was upset is because I had 3 that were missing. Okay. And amongst the 3 that disappeared was Hobo and Dad. Mm-hmm. And that was really disturbing me because, of course, Hobo and Dad are the 2 that need me the most. Dad is very old and Hobo doesn't have teeth. They're not going to do well on their own at all.
Yeah.
So what had happened was one of the younger females, Pinky, ran off. Okay. They chased her, went under a fence line, got lost. Okay. They got lost. And I couldn't find them. Mm-hmm. I had been looking. I talked to neighbors. I did everything I could do within reason. I couldn't put posters up because it was raining. And they'd wash away. Oh, here comes Granny Smith. You're about to see her hobbling by, I believe. There she goes. You'll see her limp because she is handicapped. But they were missing. Then, and that was the Wednesday before the Wednesday that week of the live stream. Mm-hmm. The following Friday. Okay, 9 days later, Dad triggers the doorbell camera.
It wasn't Dad, it was Hobo.
It was Hobo triggered the doorbell camera? No. I thought Dad did.
No.
Okay, well, she saw the image, I didn't. And we went out there, and there's Dad and Hobo. And they looked thin. They were real excited, and they had lost weight. And I snatched them up and put them away and got them fed and everything. No sign of the female, okay? However, they're out there palling around. hold on a second. Let me get this picture here. Outside with them.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, yeah, this is where it starts getting squirrely.
Nobody wants to hear this.
They don't. Outside with them is this one. So they ditched Pinky and picked up a stranger. And so now this one is hanging around out in front of the house eating out of the bowls. Then a few days later, and this would be, so Hobo and Dad were missing for 9 days. They were hungry. They had lost weight, but they're okay. All right. 13 days later, Pinky shows up. Or she comes, I hear a call out in the woods. I'm meowing in the distance. So naturally, I'm going to meow back because I'm crazy. And every time I did it, it would repeat, and it kept getting louder and louder and louder until suddenly Pinky comes flying out of the woods. Mm-hmm. And I got her. Pinky, however, is very sick. She's not doing well at all. It actually doesn't look good. I don't know what you're laughing at, me, but I'm serious. She doesn't look good. Mm. She does not look good at all. I got medication for her, which is an ordeal in of itself. And we'll see. We'll just have to see how things turn out for her. But Hobo and Dad, in the meantime, are okay and acting normal. Pinky, I don't know what's going to happen with her. Hopefully she'll be all right. I've dealt with really, really sick cats before, but that's why I was upset last time. I was like, I'm not doing well this week. I'm kind of depressed even, mm-hmm. because I was really worried about them, especially Hobo and Dad in particular. Again, Hobo can't hunt anything. He has his claws, but he can't bite. How's he going to eat? How's he going to hunt? And Dad is just old. Which again, they had lost weight obviously, but they're doing okay now. But that was heartbreaking for me because I'm like, oh no, what's going to happen to these two? I don't want them to be lost, or harmed. Without help, they wouldn't have done well at all. And even after 2 weeks, if no food at all with a feline can seriously affect their liver, it can be life-threatening. Mm. So I'm like, yeah, I was really upset, but I'm glad they're back. Hopefully Pinky will be okay. We'll see, doing the best we can with her. John's asking, can you guys settle an argument between my brother-in-law and I? Which came first, Masters of the Universe figures, comic books, or the cartoon series? The comic was first.
Then it was the cartoon, and then the toy.
The toys,
because they had the idea for the toy, but then they needed
something to pitch.
Yeah.
And they just called out in the meeting, Mattel's boys division, mm-hmm. that we got a comic series, but they didn't really have a comic series. They threw together mini comics like in a heartbeat just to satisfy the people that they were working with. Trevor's with us. Legend says, forgot to mention during the live stream today, seeing all the toys and people out and about, a little hope.
Okay.
A little hope? What do you mean a little hope?
Well, I guess he was feeling down, but it gave him some,
Well, good.
Mm-hmm.
Mutant says sometimes the cats in an area disappear for a while before you see them again.
Yeah, they came back, and I figured they would because they know where we live. So I figured they would come back.
Blue Splash says he's going to Joe Fest. He's got tickets.
Oh, okay.
So you'll probably see us there.
You get still well with vehicle issues. Yeah, we'll be there, I think, on Saturday. Hey, Stone Sour, how are you? So
the toys were first.
The concept of the toy was first, but then when they brought it to Mattel, they was like, well, we need something to promote the toy.
So the comic came with it.
Yeah.
So it's kind of simultaneous.
Yeah. And then The cartoon.
Yeah.
In the little hope that people will be all right
in years to come. Okay.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Again, it was a good show, but that's my cat story. Hobo and Dad are okay. Pinky, I'm not so sure about her at all, and I'm worried.
Yeah, but if you watch the documentary, The Toys That Made Us, they actually talked about the Masters of the Universe and how they came about with the toy, the comic, and the cartoon, and which one came first, because they had the idea, but then they had to come up with all this extra stuff to get the toy out.
And then they were like, "Well, is the comic going to do it? You got anything else? Oh, we have a cartoon."
Yeah, and they didn't have
nothing, and they ran to Filmation real quick and said, "Hey, can you slap something together?" And that's why it's so similar to Black Star, because they just overlaid a lot of their Black Star stuff.
Yeah, it'll be a couple of weeks. I mean, we'll get it up.
Robert's asking.
We still got a lot to do.
When the display area will be ready.
We still got a lot to do, so it'll be a few weeks, maybe a month or so, but we still have a lot to do to get it up. So you just gotta wait.
Big Ben.
Hey, Big Ben.
He's here in the UK. He says, "Do we have Scooby-Doo or Garfield?" Yeah, I've got a handful of Garfield.
Oh, really?
Pieces. You can't see. Again, our museum is dismantled right now.
Yeah.
If you've ever seen any of our tours or whatever. So we're sitting in a home office right now, so it's pretty blank in the background. But yeah, you know what? I've got the most bizarre Garfield piece I have is that Dixie cup dispenser. It's the one you stick on the bathroom wall and you pull the paper cups out. I've got that sealed.
Yeah.
Trevor says cartoon really blew up the popularity of the toy line. That's when they made the big bucks.
Yeah.
Yes. And then She-Ra screwed it up, and they even said so in the documentary.
They did, because the girls division wanted a piece of that action. And then they made the Barbie dolls into the She-Ra dolls and all of that.
Oh, they made the. You know what would have worked is if they did the She-Ra doll figures the same as how Tila and Evelyn were done.
Yeah,
in the same vein.
Yeah,
because they didn't. They feminized all of them, but it was too much, and that's not what anybody expected.
Well, they knew the boys wasn't going to play with it all girls, so they made it for girls.
Yeah.
With the brushes and the combs and all of that stuff like that. Like the girls didn't mind the boys didn't mind the Tila and the Evelyn and Sorceress, but the girls thought it was too boyish. That's what they said.
Yeah.
So they wanted to do something else.
Blue Splash is surprised we don't have Black Star. That stuff's expensive. Black Star is very expensive.
Metricon Indulge. I never heard of that.
To know if we're going to Metro Ham.
I never heard of it.
No, I haven't heard that one.
We'll look it up on Facebook, but I never heard of it. So
yeah,
I don't know.
You could post a message on one of our other videos.
Yeah, on a Facebook page or something.
Yeah, and we'll try to see here. Oh, you have a pen?
Yeah.
But yeah, the next show we're attending is very likely going to be the Joe Fest. I don't know if we're going to another one, but
it's June 20th. That's the same weekend as Joe Fest, so that'll be a no. Yeah. But we can mention it.
Yeah, we can still mention it
on the roundup.
On the weekly roundup, because we do try to mention a lot of the local shows.
Yeah, and actually, we were at the show today, and a guy who watches was asking me about upcoming shows, and I told him, at the beginning of the weekly roundup that we talk about it, and when we get information, even if we don't go, we like to put it up, because some people, they tell us, I watch y'all because I know y'all tell us where the shows are going to be.
Yeah, at least in the tri-state area or so.
Yeah, I mean, we'll go up to 2 hours.
Robert says he likes how we collect items people wouldn't think of: collector's plates, garbage cans, lunch boxes.
Yeah.
Some people don't even think of collecting that.
Yeah,
it's cool.
Yeah,
and Robert also wants to know if you got any vinyl today.
Yeah, I told you I got 3 records today.
Yeah, you did.
I got 3 records.
Speaking of lunch boxes, Blue Splash, Joe Lanta the same as Toy Lanta and Joe Fest? Yes and no. Joe Lanta and Toy Lanta are the same organization. Joe Fest is different.
Mm-hmm. But Toyland, Joe Fest and Joe Lanta, they lean heavy on G.I. Joe. Toy Lanta, they try to incorporate more, different things. Okay. Oh, Star Trek theme.
I see.
A few Star Trek celebs. Oh, okay. Yeah, we'll mention it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, speaking of lunchboxes, though, this one right here, I put this up on Instagram. That's a My Melody lunchbox from Aladdin from 1984. And it has the thermos, and the thermos is complete. It's got the spigot and everything is inside, right?
Look at that.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So we actually found this in Savers.
Yeah, for like $1.
It was $2.49. Oh, it was $2.49, and we collect lunchboxes. This is for her, obviously, but this lunchbox and thermos is insanely rare. You can't find this. And I'm like, of all the things, because I know if it was any other lunchbox, it could be beat to death. It could be like 95% rust, and it's worth like 50 cents. And Savers have put like $80 on it.
Yeah, and they'll put it behind the counter.
Yeah, but this, which they did at not Retro, what was I saying? At the Value Village, when it was Value Village. Because remember they had those rusted out beat up lunchboxes.
They had some there were some good ones, but they were all rusty, and
they would have been good ones.
Yeah.
Like Fat Albert and stuff. And I'm like, oh my God, the prices they have on these are insane. But this was $2.49. And I'm like, you can't, you know what it is? They probably looked it up and couldn't find it.
Yeah.
And then they said, I'll just throw any price on it.
Yeah, $2.
Yeah. So I grabbed it immediately, and I was like, oh God, the thermos is even in here. And I, got it for her. But that's every once in a while you get lucky.
Slip up.
Yeah, you get lucky. Unlike those not brats, those Monster High dolls, they get $100 a piece on that are still there, by the way. I don't think they're going to move anytime soon. But yeah, try to look that up. Look up My Melody Aladdin lunchbox. You won't find it.
Even if it goes on half price, they're not going to sell.
Well, on half price, that might work.
$50. Who wants to pay $50 for a brat doll?
They probably priced them at $100 because those might be worth that. But somebody might pay half for it if they want to collect them.
I guess.
Yeah. So there you go. But Robert wants to know how many toy companies existed back in the day. Ideal, Hasbro, Remco, Kenner. Too many to count.
Yeah.
Off the top of your head.
And Tommy
is here. And Reston is here.
Hey, Reston, how are you?
It's the last stand.
Yes.
It's the last stand.
Yes.
That's right.
John wants you to tell his brother-in-law that he was right.
Apparently, John's right. Because they have the toy concept first, then the comic book, which is the mini comic, which eventually spawned into the Marvel edition. But I don't think the Marvel edition came out until after the show did. And Filmation, by the seat of their pants, threw together the Masters of the Universe cartoon because Mattel pushed them so hard. Which is why Filmation owns the rights to most of those characters. It's also why you sit there and you're like, why the hell do they keep making He-Man and Skeletor over and over and over? Why don't they do this one? Why don't they do that one? Because Mattel has to negotiate with Filmation to make a lot of those.
Oh, okay.
That's why.
Filmation need to suck that license back in so they can quit making them.
Well, it was working as far as Super 7. Super 7 was willing to give up the extra bucks to Filmation to get some of that stuff made that had never been made before. Mattel isn't. They're just not. So there you go. Robert wants to know what was the best G.I. Joe, Transformers, $6 Million Man, Star Wars. I don't know what Ideal's claim to fame was, or Remco. Ideal's biggest piece was probably the biggest thing that Ideal did was probably Evel Knievel.
Oh, okay. They did a lot of doll babies. Ideal, right?
Yes, they did.
Yeah.
Yes, they did. They did a lot of dolls that were very, very popular, but they're not so popular anymore.
Yeah.
Reston wants to know why the walls are empty because we sold everything and we bought lottery tickets.
No, don't say such a thing.
No.
Not even.
No, because we're going through some transitions, and right now we're actually in a home office. We're not in a toy room.
Yeah.
Tommy says before Marvel.
No, DC did Masters of the Universe comics.
Oh, did they?
First,
I forget.
Before Marvel.
Okay.
That's what he's saying.
I see. John still has all his lunch boxes. Walton's. Oh God. Evil Knievel, $6 Million Man, Disney School Bus, Kiss, Fat Albert, Cosby Kids, Dukes of Hazzard.
Wow, that's cool. Nice.
I never had a lunchbox growing up. I had the Fisher Price Play lunchbox, the little mini one. That's what I had. No, I did not use it for lunch because you can't bring a box that's only like 5 inches tall to school and have anything in it that's useful. But yeah, I never had a lunchbox.
Me neither. No, I'm not going after the vintage line. I only got them.
It keeps falling in her lap. That's what's going on.
Yeah, but I won't actively like get on eBay or see what all is out there and purchase it online. I only got it because, again, I do like Ninja Turtles, but every time I looked at them before, they were always well over $100. And this one guy has them like around 50. It's like, okay, this is because at first I thought it was the remakes because of the price. I was like, this gotta be. But then when we looked at it and saw the number on the back, you know, the date on the back, it's like, whoa, this is the original. And he got it for this price. So that's why I got it. But no, I'm not actively looking. I'm not going after. If I see 9 times out of 10, the only person that's going to sell it at this price is that guy. If he has any more, I'll look at them and pick them up.
Yeah.
But to say, oh, yeah, I'm going to go start that and jump hard on it. I'm not going to do all that.
It's such an extensive line too. Playmates made so much of that stuff.
Yeah. And then when NECA was doing it for Target, I bought like the first, I don't know, 5-6 waves. I bought the Super 7 wave 1 through 10. Playmates had some that came out in the 2000s with the wrestlers, the Ghostbusters, and all of that. I have those. I have the NECA quarter scale. So I got more than enough. And really, I was content with not having the original one. But like I said, last time we went to Retro Toy Fair, the guy had it. And they were the originals for ultra cheap. And you just like couldn't pass it up.
She was thrown because when I was like, Trinessa, you're not interested in those? Those are the original ones. And she was like, no, they can't be, not for that price.
Exactly.
And I'm like, yeah, pick them up and look at the dates. Those are the real ones.
Yeah, because I saw them and because of the price, like I said, I thought they were the remakes, you know, the ones that's out now or came out like 2-3 years ago. So I wasn't interested. I'm like, no, I don't want those. Those are the remakes.
Yeah.
But when you look at the dates on the back, they're from the 90s.
Late 80s, early 90s.
Yeah, whatever.
80s.
Yeah, that. So you should put cats in the background playing. No.
Well, they're running back and forth there. So
I doubt it if you would get more views because you got to watch it to get the views.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, people aren't watching me.
No.
Tommy said, yeah, He-Man, that's right. The He-Man versus Superman issue and a couple of issues of Action Comics and had a 3-issue, I think, limited Motu comic before the cartoon. Okay.
I saw something recently that DC and some Marvel characters are teaming up because you know those licenses.
They've done that off and on over the years, though.
Yeah, but you know the license have or the rights or whatever has dropped. So now they're going to start to be like a free agent.
Pastor Rick said Ideal did Captain Action. That's correct. And the Super Queens. They also did Bewitched, which is basically just the super girl in a bewitched dress. I used to have a boxed Bewitched from Ideal. I didn't have any of the Super Queens, but I had a boxed Bewitched. And I had a couple of loose ones back in the day.
It's called the Cat Sanctuary.
Stray Cat.
Oh, Stray Cat.
It's
Stray Cat Sanctuary.
Don't do that. Okay.
Yeah, on YouTube. So
yeah,
if you
on
do
YouTube.
That, you'll get to see it. And that's the channel David made up for the cats.
I don't know where 1945 comes from, because YouTube just kind of did that to me. But unless I get an opportunity to change the name, that's what it is. But that's the moniker that will lead you to that channel.
Yeah.
Where I talk about them in better detail.
Yeah, Batman and Deadpool. That's the one that came out. So they're doing stuff like that now.
Yeah, but they've been doing that off and on for a long time. Mm-hmm. They had like Superman versus Hulk all the way back in the 70s or something. Mm-hmm. They've done it off and on over the years.
Yeah.
So what are you gonna do?
Nothing you can do.
Yeah, nothing you can do.
They get a lot of food. Oh,
really?
Yeah, a lot of Foo Fighters.
Okay. Yeah, you don't see them often. I've been lucky enough. I think I have like 5 carded ones. Mm-hmm. But yeah, you don't even see those loose complete at all. Hardly.
Oh, really?
Robert says, yeah, Marvel and Predator. And then in the 90s, they had Predator versus Batman.
Yeah, they did. I got a couple of those comics. Mm-hmm. Okay. I didn't know Predator was a part of Marvel. I thought it was like Image or
Actually,
something.
It was Dark Horse.
It was Dark Horse, yeah.
It was Dark Horse had that. They did all that stuff first. Dark Horse had Aliens, Predator.
Yeah, I got a couple of those.
And they picked up Terminator from Now Comics when Now Comics went under.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, they were the one. They did RoboCop. Mm. That's what Dark Horse was doing in the 90s for the most part. Those kind of franchises.
Robert wanted to know, is Hobo featured?
Is featured
on the channel?
No, he does. I have not, but I'm planning on doing that.
Okay.
I've done Miss Kitty. I've done Uncle.
Hey, Jesse.
Yeah, Jesse Say What's here. I've done yeah, Miss Kitty, Uncle, and Granny Smith. I've talked about in detail on that channel. I haven't gotten to Uncle yet, though. I mean, a Hobo rather. I haven't gotten to Hobo yet.
Okay, they're doing a new Captain Planet comic.
Yeah, I heard that. Mm. They're trying to bring Captain Planet back.
I got the first one to put with my Captain Planet figures. So I'll try to get, if the toy line has a comic, I'll try to get the first one if it's affordable, so I can display it with it. And I have the first Captain Planet to go with mine.
Yeah, from the 90s, not the modern stuff. Because we prefer vintage always.
Birds of Prey.
Birds of Prey?
I never heard of that.
So. No. Junkie wants to know if we saw Birds of
Prey. No, I never heard of it, I don't think.
Blue Splash says the thing that has blown me away is how many people are finally KL South America. They are super pricey. Oh, knockoff. Like a knockoff My Pet Monster looks incredible. The price is wild.
Wow.
Some knockoff pieces can be very expensive because they just didn't survive. They just didn't survive.
That one. Oh, okay. Wolverine Predator.
But yeah, I've seen that. Like Mr. Rock, who is a knockoff of Mr. Spock. That figure, if you can get that figure with the box or on the card, it's like $5,000.
Wow.
It costs way more than the Mego figure that they were knocking off. Tommy wants to know if we have the Cat Lady action figure. No.
I didn't know they had a Cat Lady. Who is that? Hey, Johnny, how are you?
Johnny's here. They might have... did they do that with the Simpsons line? Because there was a Crazy Cat Lady on the Simpsons.
I don't know.
And I know Playmates made like 120 Simpsons figures. It wouldn't surprise me if they did that.
Okay.
If they did that.
No, I never heard of the Cat Lady.
Yeah, she would throw the cats at people if they got too close on the show. And she would scream and yell and pitch cats at people.
Oh, wow.
Back when the Simpsons was still entertaining.
Yeah. That's a show I haven't seen a lot of.
I haven't seen it for like probably 20 years.
I might have seen 10, 15 episodes. Not many episodes. Not that I didn't like it. It was just something my parents didn't want to see. My mom, she wasn't into comedy shows like that, especially cartoons. She wasn't into that.
Tommy likes cats. That's okay. It's okay. Hey, I really like them.
Yeah.
I've got really invested, taking care of them over the years. I've gotten really invested in them. That's why I was really shook up when they were missing. Reston says Planet of the Apes postcard. Oh, the icon.
Oh yeah. The last time we were on, this is the image I was telling y'all about. When you watch Planet of the Apes, the TV series, this is when you watch the intro, this is the last scene on the intro. And I just absolutely love that picture. And I tried finding it in a poster, and I can't find a poster of that. So I would like a poster of that, but I can't find
the live action 70s show.
Yeah, the live action 70s TV series. This is the last scene on the intro. Where
when they're on the hunt.
Yeah. And he comes up and holds up the rifle, and then you got the sun setting in the background. It was just well done, and I really like that picture.
Yes,
and I would like image. That. Yeah. If I could find that that poster, I would get that. Hope you won't start throwing cats at us.
No, I don't throw cats.
Birds of Prey was about the cat woman, a girl,
Batgirl, and other female superheroes and female supervillains.
I've heard of that.
Tedious.
No, I have heard of that. I thought that was a movie. I thought it was a movie. But yeah, I have heard of that now that you say it. But no, we never seen it. But I thought it was a movie, because wasn't that the one with what's her name? Harley Quinn. She was in it too, right? I think.
That's Harley Quinn was in
Birds of Prey, right?
No,
I know she was in Suicide Squad.
I think was it? I don't know, because I haven't watched any of that stuff. So
yeah, that modern stuff like that. The only modern Batman I've seen was the Batman that came out with Pattinson, which I actually like. I don't know what they're doing with it. They said they rewrote the whole thing, so who knows?
Johnny got the neck of Sesame Street in Burt and Walmart.
Oh wow!
And he got Bert, Ernie, and Count Von Count.
Oh wow! Good for you. It looks good.
Yeah, it does look good.
It looks good. It's nothing I'm gonna get, but it looks good. That was a CW show. Oh, okay. All right. Birds of Prey.
2002.
Oh, okay. So what was that movie that came out a few years back?
Wasn't there a Birds of Prey film?
That's what I'm saying. It was a movie. It came out a couple of years ago.
Tommy's suggesting about tomcats roaming and coming back. They're not tomcats because they're all TNVR.
That mean they got all chopped up.
Yeah, they're not looking for no females, and they especially Dad and Hobo never leave the porch. They're bookends. But yeah, I know a male, fully functional male cat will disappear in return.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, speaking of Planet of the Apes, he got a 1/6 scale figure that looks pretty good from '98.
Robert, that's correct. Count Von Count is the correct name for that character.
It was nothing like the comic. It was a comic book of it too? Yeah. That's not surprising. They do a comic book of everything in Birds of Prey.
Yeah.
But wasn't good.
It doesn't sound interesting to me at all.
I remember seeing the trailer for the movie that came out, and it was nothing that just made me say, "Ooh, I want to go see that." So no, I ordered and got today the reaction of the. Okay, yeah, I got those.
Johnny talking about the reaction Sesame Street.
Yeah, I got the reaction Sesame Street because I really like that. But I think I'm not gonna get any more if they come out.
But that's I would. I've got the Chef Cookie Monster from Knickerbocker.
Yeah, the original one.
Because he was a chef also, but you could take his clothes off.
We don't need to know all that.
Well, he's a mixed media action figure.
Yeah.
So his little apron, he's got fur. You can't see nothing. But you take his little apron and his little chef's cap off. That's the one that I gave to Pixel Dan.
Yeah.
Because he fell out over that. It's such a cool toy though. It really is. I knew he was gonna like that. But
Muley's waiting for Sonic 4 to come out. Sesame Street figures. Yeah, I got them.
Robert's got all of them, but or rather, Robert. Yeah, she has all of them, but she does not want Elmo.
Yeah, so I didn't get the Elmo figure.
Get the Elmo. Screw Elmo. Elmo can take a flying jump.
Count Chocula sometimes.
Yeah, Count Chocula. Count Chocula. But yeah, I saw a couple of those at the show today. Actually,
what?
Those Jada mascots.
Oh yeah, the cereal ones. Somebody had a couple of them.
Somebody had Boo Berry. Someone had Boo Berry, and somebody had the Tony the Tiger and the Chester Cheetah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. We don't go to the comic shop.
Yeah, we haven't been to a comic shop in a long time.
We have
gone to it off and on. We'll pop in one, or we'll we've done a tour of a couple.
Yeah.
But we don't do the comic shop thing like that, because I get that a lot from people where they're like, oh, are you going to go out for free comic book day? And I'm like, I don't care about free comic book day.
No.
I really don't. I don't want them. They're usually not interesting comics anyways, and they're mass produced. I just I don't want to run around all over town trying to get a free comic book.
Yeah. It's been about 2 years since we've been to a comic book shop.
These actually float,
Oh, okay.
All that stuff was made to function properly. These are the Fisher-Price Adventure People little kayaks with the guys with the little paddles.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, they were. See, I could put my little diver guy in there.
David has Mighty Max. I don't know about play sets. David wants to know, would you collect the Mighty Max play set?
He's talking about the listen.
Mm-hmm. What?
I used to have, here we go. I loved that when it came out. I thought it was clever. And so did everyone else, because they all copied Mighty Max, which Mighty Max is the boys' version of Bluebird's Polly Pocket. Okay, the little tiny figure like this, like an inch tall, half an inch tall, and he was jointed, one point of articulation at his waist so he could sit down.
Mm-hmm. And
it came in that little, it was like a snake or a monster's face or all kinds of different things. You open it up, you get a little play set inside. It's all elaborate. I loved those.
Mm.
I had everything Mighty Max boxed and carded. Part of the collection that was stolen. But yeah, everybody thought it was a good idea. They all copied it. Ninja Turtles had turtle ones.
Mm-hmm.
Even Star Wars did it.
Mm-hmm.
They had micro play sets like that with the little tiny figures. And even Captain Crunch had a submarine one with little figures.
Oh, okay.
Everybody was doing that because they were so, they thought it was such a good idea. It was popular. And I did have the whole thing, all of that carded and boxed.
Mm-hmm.
But to get all of that now, some of that stuff has gotten to be very expensive.
Mm-hmm.
And those have gotten very expensive because back then, well, man, all those kids opened those up and played with them.
Mm-hmm.
And you can't find carded and boxed examples very often anymore.
Yeah, we don't go to the toy section in Walmart anymore. We just kind of quit going because we knew it was nothing over there we was gonna buy anyway.
Yeah.
So and
it was disappointing. It's almost
every time.
It's empty anyways. It's not even interesting.
I'm not gonna say it's empty. It's just that the stuff they have, we don't want. So why bother going over there? Every now and then we might go and see what movies or TV shows, not movies, but the TV show section.
Yeah.
See what's over there. But what a purple icon next to the that's not
well we can't see it. He's asking about those icons that YouTube is doing now.
Oh,
those promotional pieces.
I don't know what you're talking about because we can't see all that.
Yeah.
So I also don't go to I don't know. Oh, free comic book day. The books sit around for a while after the event anyway. Yeah.
That is the shark. This is a Fisher-Price rubber shark. It's heavy too.
Mm-hmm.
It's a heavy piece. Oh, my arm's getting weak. No.
Oh, Lord.
Hey,
Frankenfrog.
Frankenfrog is with us. Frankenfrog was there this morning. when we were doing
thumbs up.
We were doing the live stream.
Yes.
Thank you. We'll take all the thumbs up we can get. We appreciate that. But yeah, you know, I love I haven't seen, you never see vintage Serial Icon anything.
No.
At the conventions.
At anywhere.
Ever. Which, you know, I love that stuff. Although it would probably be too expensive. The pieces that struck me the most going to the toy show today. The guy with the Alvin telephone.
Yeah.
And the Tasmanian Devil Polaroid Instamatic.
Yeah.
I was like, oh my God, you know, nobody's seen that stuff since the 80s.
I was shocked at how many VCR tapes. It seemed like almost everybody had VCR tapes, and I mean a lot. So that was surprising at the amount of VCR tapes. We didn't look through any of them. Well, I didn't look through any.
I looked a little bit, but you know, I saw that. I showed it. There was a copy. Somebody had a stand-up of Yakov Smirnoff, and I'm like, oh my God, who remembers him? The Yakov Smirnoffs. That's straight up 80s.
Robert, honestly, I haven't bought comics in a while.
Yeah, it's been a minute.
It's been a minute. But I do have a bunch of the EC horror. I got the reprints. So when I go to shows, and we haven't been to a comic book show in a while, I would look for them there. Or I always had better with the EC books. I always had better luck online. I would like to get the treasure chest, the religious or Christian books, because Treasure Chest did a lot. But they got the Christian line, and I want to get those, but I'm gonna have to find those on like eBay or something.
Robert was asking, yes, they do float.
Oh,
all that stuff works.
Frank and Frog want to know if you got that blow up.
No.
Bromo bunny.
For the condition it was in, I thought he was kind of steep when I went and talked, because I did go back and talk to that guy. Because you know, there were things I had spotted when I was doing the live, and I went back and I talked to a few vendors, and I wheeled and dealed a little bit, which again we have a haul video that'll be going up tomorrow.
Yeah.
But yeah, I was interested in the bunny because I've got the small one that I got at the show last time. Actually, the last Retro Toy Swap, I got the small one.
Yeah.
And it's perfect. It's in perfect condition. It was really cheap, actually. And this guy wanted a little bit more than I thought was fair for the condition it was in.
He also had a Toxic Crusader record.
Yeah, from the cartoon.
Yeah, but I felt like it was expensive.
I don't know what they
like. I don't know, but I didn't want to pay, and I didn't even try to haggle. Maybe if I had tried to haggle, I could have got him down $10 or so, but I don't know.
You never know. You never know.
You know, when he said that, I was just like, okay, whatever.
Saddest thing at the show. I'm not going to say who it was. Not going to say who it was because I don't want to embarrass them. But one of the vendors that was there said that the reason he was there is because his wife was making him thin his collection out.
You don't know if that guy was serious.
I said when he said that, he didn't look like he was joking, and I said, I hope that's not. I hope you're not for real. And he's just like this. And
no, because I looked at his wife, and she kind of just like laughed. You know,
she wasn't there.
That was the lady that had the sit and spin.
No,
that wasn't her.
No.
Oh
no,
I thought that was
a separate little setup.
Oh, I thought they were the same people.
No, they were not. But anyway.
Yes, David, I did. No, okay. They're still sitting at Big Bad Toy Store in my pile of loot, waiting for that 90 days to come to an end, which I think I only got 20 days left. But I let everything sit there until the first thing that goes there gets to the end. And then whatever's in the pile of loot, I get them all at once. So they're there at Big Bad Toy Store, sitting, waiting for me to purchase it.
Robert says the only VCR tapes that I could get is the original Star Wars trilogy together.
We have that.
The one with movie posters and montages on the box.
We have that. We had found it at some show. and we were able to get it. So
yeah, you got to get the earliest versions of those possible before what's his name, Steven Spielberg. No, George Lucas. George Lucas started altering them because even the one that you saw with Greedo had the gun, that was edited in. He never had that. He never had the gun on Solo.
Oh, okay.
And, you know, they've altered that scene so many freaking times. And then Steven Spielberg with the rifle editing that he did in E.T. and man, people were pissed. Because he turned all the, it's like soldiers running around holding big radios instead of M16s. And it's like, that doesn't make any sense. Why'd you do that? That's not how it looked in the theater. Okay. And he had to re-release it correctly. Reston thinks we could write a book on the collection that would be better than any of the books on collectibles that are out now. Well,
I don't know. Some of those collectible books, like that G.I. Joe book that we've seen a couple of times, I really like that. I'm not a G.I. Joe collector, but I think that looks good. Did you get a set Alligator King?
Alligator King. You remember the Alligator King from it's one of the Sesame Street.
I know. I don't know if I got that. Honestly, I don't remember.
You would have, because it's a character you've never seen.
Yeah.
In action figure form.
I don't even know, because I'm cutting back on a lot of stuff. Hey, Road Pig, how are you?
Joining us today. Yeah, she's trying to cut back on the modern.
Yeah.
And I have already. You know, I just try to stay away from it completely now. As far, the only thing I've seen modern that I would even consider is that Herbie from the AMC.
Yeah.
But I'm just like, I'm not going to go to the movie theater, because someone asked me in the comment section too, like, I'm not going to the movie.
No.
Because they've already ruined it for me.
Yeah.
I love the Silver Age look and vibe. And I was like, oh, I think they might get this one right. And no, it looks like they didn't.
I will go see the Batman movie when it comes out.
And then, so I'm not going to go to the film. And there's no way I'm paying aftermarket on it, because the aftermarket's going to be stupid because it's huge.
Yeah, no.
It will. It will. When it turns up at a show for like $20, then I'll get it. Otherwise, nah. I'm not going down that road with any modern stuff at all. And Road Pig, again, we're going through a lot of transitions right now. The museum is currently broken down, and we've taken it apart. And right now we're sitting in the home office.
Yeah. Now, you know, AMC is doing this new thing. They said to get more people in, but I don't understand how it's going to get more people in. They're going to provide premium seating. So, you know how you used to go to a movie, buy your ticket, and then just go sit down. Then they made you get assigned seats. Now they're going to do premium
They're going to do like concert seating, basically.
And it's like, who wants to pay more to see the movie? It's already expensive, and now you're going to do premium seating, and you think that's going to get more people in the door?
It's always been first come, first serve.
I liked it when it was like that. And I told you the story that really made me mad about those selective seating when we worked at the daycare center. I'm not going to tell the whole thing again, but
by daycare center, she means the mental health facility we worked at.
We had the guy with the wheelchair, and somebody had bought the handicap seating and refused to move.
Yeah. And the thing is, the theater was empty.
Yes.
She rented the wheelchair spot. There's two at the back. Okay. One of them, we had to put somebody in already. We needed the second one. And the whole theater was open. There was probably a total of, with us, maybe 12 people in there. Right. And the theater's rule is, if if you're sitting in one of those seats and someone who needs it, you're supposed to surrender it. And the theater did not enforce that.
But she got her just due. But anyway, what do you think about studios buying rights to deceased actors and actresses in order to make a
new AI movies with these famous dead celebrities? I haven't heard about them doing that.
That sounds ghostly and
I hadn't heard about that.
Popping up on
Robert says his ads on the stream. Really?
Oh, really? Does it break in, or it pops up at the bottom?
Maybe I'll actually make some AdSense money.
Maybe, who knows? Even if I go to the theater to pick up a popcorn box,
oh yeah,
no guarantee that it will even be there.
There's no guarantee.
But you can't get in without paying. Because I tried to go when we were at the mall. I had to go to the bathroom, and I was at that end, and the girl tried to stop me. I was like, I gotta go to the bathroom. She was like, well, you gotta pay. I was like, I'm not paying to walk to that bathroom right there, and I went to the bathroom. But she was like, all getting snarky. Oh, you gotta pay. And you know the bathroom is in the front, so it's not like I had to cross the line, the little barrier to go to the bathroom. And at that mall, the regular bathrooms were nasty. So I was like, well, I'm gonna go to the movie theater and go to the bathroom because I was already on that end.
Yeah.
Go back to that bathroom.
Robert says he's gonna
see. That's resting.
Robert said that he was probably going to see the Fantastic Four film anyway. Like I said, I love the vibe, the way it looks. But the way that they structured the plot, it's gonna disappoint people. Is what it looks like it's coming down to. I haven't seen Blue Splash doesn't want to see Marvel in theaters. I haven't seen a Marvel film since Mobius, and that was a dumpster fire.
We didn't see something after Mobius?
No, not a Marvel film.
I don't know.
No.
I remember. Yeah, we went when we was at the center. We saw that.
Yeah, and I was like, wow, they rushed the hell out of this. They crammed 4 hours of story in an hour and 5 minutes. And I was like, oh,
it was longer than an hour and 5 minutes.
An hour and 6. They just did. It was too much. It was too much. The rushed storyline and some of the other things they did. And I was like, no, this is awful. Johnny says they did that with Pat Morita and Cobra Kai, used his image as CGI generated to make new scenes. Really?
Oh, really?
I didn't know that.
Oh, wow.
And Road Pig says the popular collectibles at the movies are the new Lilo and Stitch popcorn buckets. I have no idea. But that's, it's a fad. It's a fad for now until it wears thin. But what are you going to do? They're trying to attract people back to the theater, but it doesn't occur to them what's pushing people away from the theater is just bad productions.
Yeah, it's not the theater itself, it's the movies are horrible and nobody wants to see it.
Yeah.
So you really can't do much to draw people in because the people don't want to see the movie that's coming out. I mean, yeah, you can come up with these gimmicks, but charging people extra for premium seating is not going to do it.
Or like trying to convince people to get like a collectiable popcorn bucket, which they're not cheap at all. Even in the theater, they are expensive. Who is it? Lou sent you one.
Yes.
Lou sent.
Nice.
She got one in the mail. We didn't do a video on it. But Lou sent her the one from Nosferatu.
Yeah, because it was a coffin looking, and I wanted to use it. I don't know. I guess a diorama for either my not Bela Lugosi. My what's his name? I can't think of it now. From Dark Shadows, Barnabas
Collins.
Yeah,
because it's metal. I mean, I don't know if it's worth the $50 they charged for it. I think that is what you had to pay to get that bucket.
That's how much you had to pay for that?
I think so. Is anybody sure? Have you bought one of these popcorn buckets?
Wow.
I think that one was $50. I could be wrong though, but I've heard they're pretty expensive.
Wow.
That's why I'm like that Herbie thing. It's probably more than I would want to pay anyways. I just like the Herbie because I remember the Herbie. I remember the Herbie from the old Fantastic Four cartoon show because I mentioned this the other day. They couldn't use the Human Torch because of copyright issues.
Would you collect the Mad Balls?
Blue Splash. Yeah, I would. I don't have any, but I mean, I suppose I would because it does fit the 80s genre really nicely.
Yeah, I agree with you, K-Munit. I don't see how charging more for premium seating is going to draw more people in.
Yeah.
I can understand that for a concert because you can get on that floor area, you can see better. But in a movie theater, I like to sit in the back so your head won't be up, you won't hurt your neck, that kind of thing. So I like to sit in the back. But I don't see how that's going to draw more
And as it stands with most modern figures,
Hey,
Fabio's with us.
How are you?
As it stands with most modern films, buy a ticket to anywhere in there and sit wherever you want.
Hey, Treehouse.
Hello, Treehouse. Sit wherever you want because the theater's going to be half empty anyway.
Yeah, so why do you make
get the cheap seat and just move?
Yeah, move up to the premium seat. Now they would have their ushers come in and check tickets or something. They're probably going to assign you a seating ticket and you got to have it. And if you don't have that ticket, they're going to make you move or something. When Wonder Woman 84 came out, they had metal popcorn buckets.
Okay.
I bought one, but can't remember the price. I think it might have been $15 or so.
Okay.
Some of the things I've heard about the new Fantastic Four movie tell me that it will be another agenda. Ooh.
And that's Munin talking.
Yeah.
Well, first of all, if they were going to do the Silver Age vibe thing, they had to use Norrin Rad, the traditional Silver Surfer, and they did not do it. They went with a What If Silver Surfer from like 2012 or something. I forget what year that What If version came out with the female. But the traditional Norrin Rad Silver Surfer is the one everybody knows. You're doing Silver Age Fantastic Four. You're bringing in a proper Galactus. Okay. And Blue Splash would like to see me get the Defiant. So would I.
Yeah, maybe if he win that lottery, he can get it. He can get one.
Yeah, I'll get one. So you've got to get a proper Norrin Rad Silver Surfer. They didn't do it. That's problem number one. And this Fantastic Four, and it's kind of sad they never get the film right because of how significant it is. And I had talked about this before, is that it is Marvel Comics' first superhero title. Before that, they did all monster bullshit. It's their first superhero title, and it wasn't doing well until the Galactus storyline. That's really jumped it off, and Marvel went all in on superhero stuff. It was so significant. It was so freaking significant. But then also it's been leaked that bottom line that the Fantastic Four team is pretty much useless and kind of stands around, and that Sue Storm saves the Earth. And it's like, you don't need to do that with Sue's character. She's part of a team of four that works together traditionally in that comic. She is significant as part of that team, as all of them are, playing her own part. It doesn't diminish her as a character. Keep it that way. Why make them boneheads and she saves everybody? It's like, no, that's too much. It doesn't work. It has not worked for Marvel. It's made them look foolish for years now, and they keep doing it.
Well, that's because the modern people, these new people, they don't know the concept of teamwork. When we were kids, you played games and sports as a team. Everybody had their role. Everybody participated. Everybody, did something. But now it's like, okay, yeah, you're a team, but this is the only person that can do anything. And I think that takes away. You kind of see that in movies and writing. It's always like one person. It's like, okay, you're our leader, and they appoint them. Nothing about their background or personality says that they even leadership material. It's, oh, you got the biggest mouth, so you're our leader. And we will blindly follow you, even though your decisions are clearly stupid. It makes absolutely no sense. We're going to follow you because we're just that loyal.
Yeah. Johnny wants me to use this as a popcorn bucket. Then it'll get all that fake butter in it, and then it'll grease my hair. Robert wants an invisible jet for Wonder Woman.
They sell that.
No, for a popcorn bucket. That wouldn't work. You know why? Because it would have to be like Mylar or something, and you'd never get it cleaned. And Steve wants to know about the Nestle Swiss character. Swiss Miss. You mean Swiss Miss? I have a video. I have a a commercial block of vintage Swiss Miss up on this channel. I do not believe they ever merchandised Swiss Miss.
Well, he says that they had a figure, and he
did you ever see a figure like that?
Yeah.
I don't believe they did her. I don't think they, back in the day, they used to do a lot of things like transistor radios or pillows and things like that. But I don't know. I don't think they ever made a Swiss Miss figure. I'm pretty sure that's the Swiss Miss you're talking about, right? Because I do, like I said, I have a commercial block of 70s and 80s Swiss Miss, instant cocoa, and pudding pops that they did with the little dancing, what was it, stop motion Swiss girl?
Yeah.
They're cute, and there's a lot of nostalgia in those commercials.
Yeah, we would still collect if we didn't have a YouTube channel, or just didn't put it on YouTube. I mean, we don't collect because we have a YouTube channel. We do it because we like it, and then we just have a YouTube channel.
We just started sharing with people. I mean, I believe they had a doll. They had a doll. They had a clock. They did stuff like that. Maybe I know there was I'm pretty sure there was a cup. A watch, stuff like that, stuff that they all did, because you can find that for Charlie Tuna, you can find that for Little Sprout, you can find that for a lot of those icon characters. Hold on a second, let me see.
The one thing I think these musicians and movie stars should be worried about is AI, because if they make an AI movie and they make AI songs and they put it out there and people go see that, then what do you need all of these actors and singers for? They protest everything else, but they won't protest that. And that, I think, would hurt them more than just the bad movies that they put themselves in and those stupid tweets and other things that they do. They need to be concerned about all this AI generated stuff, I think.
See, there's the doll, and that's 70s. It's like a rag doll. But an action figure, I don't think so. I don't think so. I don't think they ever did a phone. A lot of them, like Charlie Tuna and the Sprout and Pillsbury Doughboy, had phones too. That was a big thing in the 70s and 80s.
So Johnny said, what's wrong with the 2005 Fantastic Four? Why do they keep remaking it? He thought the 2005 was good.
I think the problem with I didn't see the second one. There was two. Okay. With Chris Evans, before he became Captain America, he was Johnny Storm. I think the problem with the first one was the interaction with Dr. Doom. Really frustrated a lot of people. They did not like the way Dr. Doom was portrayed. Aside from that, I really don't remember too much about the film. I don't remember too much about it. But yeah, I don't know. They had that other one that they did. They did one in the 2000s where they race swapped Johnny Storm, which didn't make sense because Sue Storm is his sister, and unless one of them was adopted. And then they had the one that came out in the 1990s, which was just like direct to video. They did it to hold off some kind of franchising rights or something. They did it to Okie Doke, basically, and the actors didn't even realize that they weren't being taken seriously, and that the film wasn't even going to make it to theaters. So that was unfortunate.
No, I've never seen that.
Johnny wants to know if we saw a CGI YouTube with Superman fighting Hulk. No, we don't really spend a lot of time perusing YouTube though.
No, I mean, it's some people, if they come out with a video, I'll watch it. Some things I like to watch on YouTube, but just to sit there and just watch like video after video after video, no, we don't do that.
Yeah, we don't do all that. So there you go.
If I need to see Silver Surfer, I look at Galactus is Hans Legend.
You got the Marvel Legends Galactus. Oh, Brad is here.
Hey, Brad, how are
Glad
you?
You could join us today. But yeah, I love the old vintage stuff like Swiss Miss. That's why I put the commercials up. I have a handful of commercial blocks. I got a handful of vintage McDonald's commercials.
Oh yeah, that Baby Joey.
Starting with the very first McDonald's commercial through to the late 80s. The Mr. T one is in there. Now, a lot of people have never seen it. The only one I couldn't find was the one with Morgan Freeman. Or no, not McDonald's, Burger King.
Yeah.
It was the Burger King commercial. I said the wrong thing.
So make sure you check out Wolfie's Funhouse. He has a YouTube channel and he puts up different things. So make sure you check that out. Give him some love. Give him some subscribe. Give him some likes, some shares, some comments. Let him know that y'all are out there and that y'all support him. How are you, Wolfie? And no, we're just revamping the toy room. So that's why everything looks fair. And we're actually in another part of the house. Hey, Austin, how are you?
He wants to know how the retro went. Retro went really well. We did a live stream of it. I live streamed it while we were there after I did a little bit of shopping. So that is up on the channel if you wanted to check it out. And also we'll have the haul video tomorrow.
No, I never seen that. I haven't seen a lot of the WB type stuff. The WB. I watched some things on the CW, but not the WB.
One with young Bruce Wayne got exhausting. I couldn't watch it anymore. Yeah, I couldn't watch it anymore.
It was all right at first, and then it just started getting weirder and weirder and weirder. And then we quit watching that. And we watched a couple of things. I know David watched Arrow. You were liking on that. And then it got too soap opera-y.
Most of the first season of Arrow, and then it was just too tedious.
Yeah.
And
I heard it's supposed to be.
Robert is talking about who baby Joey is in the new movie. I don't even think I'm going to see the new Superman. I don't even care.
No, I don't care. It's a lot going on with the dog and that baby and all kinds of stuff. I really just want to see the Batman movie if they ever make it. Because
they don't screw it up.
Well, I heard that they sent it back to the drawing board to get the whole thing rewritten.
That's a bad sign.
So, well, maybe they'll rewrite it better. Who knows?
That doesn't seem to work. It seems like it keeps getting worse when they rewrite. I'll send it back to the drawing board. It gets rewritten like 4 times. And then the film comes out and it's just garbage.
Yeah, and then when you see it, you're like, man, I wonder what they had originally. And they based themselves on the other movies that come out. But if they had confidence in their writers, their directors, their production team, they wouldn't have to do all that. If they know, we got some good, solid writers, we got some solid actors, we got great directors and production team, they wouldn't have to say, well, that movie over there flopped. Let's go rewrite ours. You know what I mean?
No.
So you shouldn't have to.
Pander.
Yeah. More. So it's like, well, which way is the wind blowing? Oh, it's blowing to the east. Well, we were going to the west. So let's go ahead and change some stuff up. It's like, be confident in what you're doing. Hire some people that can actually write. Hire actors that actually went to acting school. It's going to be a while. Like we said, the museum is coming along slowly but surely. But when we reveal it, I think everyone will like it.
Hopefully.
Smallville. Yeah, I watched the first episode of Smallville, I think. And I didn't get any. I hope you're enjoying my channel so far. I'm okay. There. But my allergies have flared up today. Oh no.
I think this needs to be
selling point of the new Superman film is crypto. They're hoping, a dog is not going to be enough to sell your movie.
But he's cute.
Yeah, sure.
He's cute.
Nothing good coming out. Only so movies coming out. That is true. Have you ever seen the Kraken or the Great Garloo at the toys?
I have. Yes, I've seen both. I've seen the Kraken actually several times. That's from the Clash of the Titans. I've seen that several times at shows. It's usually loose, and usually very expensive. The Great Garloo, I've seen a couple of times, and he's usually missing all of his parts. It's usually just the basic figure, but I mean, it's a big piece. It's like what, 3 feet tall?
I don't know.
Yeah, it's one of those old like 60s robot toys.
Oh, okay.
So, and he's missing all of his bits and pieces, but I have seen him a couple of times.
No, we haven't found anything that we forgot about. We just didn't realize how much we had.
The volume, yeah.
Because, you know, you got to take everything down, pack it up, move it so you can do what you got to do. And it's like, godly, we had this much stuff. It just seems overwhelming.
Yeah.
But hopefully with the new setup and the new design, we can display more things. So we'll see. Y'all will get to see it. Y'all will be the first one.
Robert says they said they would kill the dog off with sympathy in the new movie like they did to Rocket. Really?
They killed Rocket in the Guardians.
We didn't see the last Guardians of the Galaxy, so we have no idea. We have no idea. I didn't see the last one because for me, the wind went out of the sails with as far as Marvel films. It was already kind of diminishing anyways. Like Iron Man 3 wasn't very well done at all. Even though the first Iron Man film was a good production. But Endgame, the one where they finally defeated Thanos, honestly, I don't think that was a good film. I don't think they did. I don't think they did a good job. I could watch the other Avenger titles. That one, I don't care. It's just like, I don't think they did a good job with it. Also, around that time, I had also seen Black Panther, which was a terrible film.
I never saw either.
Oscar or not, it was terrible. I don't care if it got an Oscar. You know why they gave it an Oscar. It's because dude died. Okay. It's one of the main reasons, but it didn't deserve an Oscar because it was not a well-written film. It wasn't well acted. The only guy whose character was identifiable was Killmonger. I totally got where he was coming from, and they didn't do good with him anyways, and then they killed him.
But you saying that made me think about the Black Panther movie and we've kind of talked about that before. They put out these movies, they do all of this race swap, gender swap to get certain people in the movie theater. So when Black Panther came out, a lot of people that are not into comic books went to go see it because it was an all-black film and this and that right there. But they didn't get into comic books. They didn't get into, let me find out more about the Black Panther. Let me go read some of the comics, or that's all you really had is comics. So let me go read some. No, they just saw the movie. I talked to a couple of people that saw it and they ranting and raving how great the movie was. I never saw it. It was nothing I ever wanted to see. So, and I think when it came out, I wasn't watching superhero movies at the time anyway. So, I think it's a bad idea to try to make a TV show or a movie for a certain genre of a group of people that is not into that. You know what I mean? I guess I can see you're like hoping, but don't like put all your eggs in that basket. If you want to do a Black Panther movie, fine. But don't think, this is going to draw in a new group of people and we're going to base everything solely on that.
Yeah.
No.
Wolfie's going to Sandusky, Ohio to rebuild the sets of the original Enterprise at Neutral Zone Studios. Really?
Okay.
That sounds interesting.
The Enterprise is Star Trek.
Yes. Hey! And Blue Splash said Great Garloo is 3 feet tall. Oh, you know what? Great Garloo is the monster. I thought, for some reason, I'm thinking Big Lou is it Marx? Big Lou? Big Lou is 3 feet tall. Is a robot. Garloo, I think, is 2 feet tall.
Okay.
And there's 2 versions, a small one, but the great Garloo is with the wired remote. He's green and his arms go like this. Yeah, he's like 2 feet tall, and I have seen that at shows before too. Usually not in working order. Pastor said, Rick says they have the Kraken along with a few other Clash of the Titans. Wow,
that's cool.
That's pretty cool.
I like the Endgame and Homecoming, but that's just me.
That's all right.
The Endgame was fine. I saw them all. I thought it was fine. But like I said, I never read any of those books. I thought Morbius was fine because I never saw Morbius.
And I'm watching it like, this ain't right.
Yeah, I never read the book. So to me, it was fine. And I've said this before. My first introduction to Swamp Thing was seeing the 2019 TV show. Yeah. I loved it. I mean, I know now, after reading the original book, that the 2019 was absolutely nothing like the book. But I still like the 2019.
And canon matters.
It does, but I still think it was done. I think it was well acted. I still like the writing. I thought it was good done. That girl Abby got on my nerves, but y'all know how I am with women, so that's not surprising.
Oh no!
But I don't know. I just thought it was okay. Now the 80s Swamp Thing, awful, but it did have that one story that was in the book. They took some elements that was in the book and put it in the movie, but it was still kind of off. I saw the Man Thing movie. Man Thing was in it, like all of 5 minutes.
Barely.
Yeah.
That was pretty bad. It's not even fair to call. It's not even fair to call it Man Thing.
Yeah, it wasn't. And that was awful. That was about as bad as the Swamp Thing movie. So how they did Endgame was horrible, actually. Using a time machine to fix everything, total lack of imagination on that. Endgame did well in theaters, actually. Had a full house. Yes, we went and saw it in the theater, and it was packed. And people was cheering when Captain America
picked up the
hammer.
But it was a lazy idea for the time travel. It was the Marvel female moment was unnecessary. Shoehorning Captain Marvel in there with a film that was terrible was useless. And then her almost overpowering Thanos didn't make sense. There was a lot of things they did in there that weren't necessary. This is Daniel, by the way.
If they ever tried to remake Power Man,
this is John McJunkin.
White superhero character with a white afro. I'm just gonna quit with them. See, they would never do that because it would be racist.
No, not that.
So, the double standards. But we're not gonna get into all of that. But it's just not right. Just do the movie the way the book is. Just, take a story out of the book. I can deal with you saying, okay, we want to do a Batman movie. This storyline right here was really good. Let's do a movie based on this storyline. You can do that for any character. They had a storyline that was 3-4 books long. Just do that. You can fluff it up a little bit. But stick with the canon. Don't do all of this extra stuff, adding in all these weird people that nobody ever heard of, and race swapping and gender swapping and doing all of that. Because the people that like it, they're going to quit on you. They're going to quit buying your books. They're going to quit coming to see your movies. They're going to quit everything.
Uh-oh.
These sets are based on the 60s Star Trek sets and are in the same layout as the original.
Says
I'm washing my red shirt now. It says Wolfie. What's the scale of this other ship?
If it's a set, it's going to be 1-to-1. It's for like filming.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that's what it's talking about.
Abby and Swamp Thing were an item, so she
had to be there. This is Granny Smith.
Yeah, they became an item in a book, and that's when it really got weird. when they were a thing. In the TV show, she was liking on him before he became Swamp Thing, and then he tried to like back her up. Which cat is that? That's Grandma.
That's Granny. The black one was yeah, you're way behind. See?
Oh yeah, okay.
There's Monkey.
You can't Monkey. See him. You saw his tail. Oh yeah, I got to catch up.
Yeah, you got to.
The movie must have been good enough, because if it hadn't, the theater would have not been full. Yeah, it was fine enough, I guess. I thought it was fine, but like you said, if you deep into the books,
it gets frustrating.
Yeah. To see the cat, I guess. Okay. Yeah, the Commissioner Gordon Black in the Batman. I guess I got used to Commissioner Gordon being black, because in the 89 Batman, he was black.
Gordon?
Wasn't that Billy D. Williams?
No.
Who was Billy D. Williams?
Billy D. Williams was Two-Face. He was Harvey Dent. He was introduced as Harvey Dent.
Oh, in 89.
But then something happened and he got contracted somewhere else, and Tommy Lee Jones took over.
Okay. I just remember him being in 89 Batman. For some reason, I thought he was. Now that for some reason doesn't bother me. I guess. Well, he is a main character.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I guess because before I ever read the book, in the I don't know. It's just never. I guess I just never thought about it. I was gonna say he was like that in the animated series, but no, he was white in the animated series.
Yeah.
Yeah, when did they make him black?
I think I want to say it was during the Christian Bale era. Was it Christian Bale? No, it wasn't. No.
They made him black in the Batman. That's when the first time he was black.
Yeah, no, Christian Bale. It was a white guy.
Yeah, it was a white guy. The black guy was what was it? The guy from Wayne Foundation.
Who played by Morgan Freeman,
right?
Who was black in the book? I believe.
Yeah, he was black, he was always black in the animated series.
That was canon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So okay, yeah, they just made him black. Yeah, because I was looking, I'm like, is he supposed to be? But that didn't. For some reason, that didn't click.
He's not a major character.
Yeah.
So
I guess it's all right. If it's a major character, if it's not a major character.
Yeah.
But now when you gender swap it, people realize that, like, you did too much now.
Oh my God.
Yeah. What do you think about Disney doing a new movie about? Oh Lord.
Ewoks. I hadn't heard that, John. And yeah, Johnny reminds us it was Harvey Dent, 89 Batman. They introduced him, but he didn't get used.
But even that's race swapping.
Yeah. And Wolfie said Neutral Zone Studios filming set for fans to make films. They also want to give public tours. They're not for profit. Okay.
Oh, wow. So y'all just go volunteer and make movie
a movie set.
Okay. That seemed like it would be fun. Mm-hmm.
Lucius Fox.
That's his name.
Yes. Which Morgan Freeman did a good job on. And I love that one scene in the second Batman film with the Joker, with Heath Ledger Joker, where he's like, the guy figures out who Batman is, and he's trying to blackmail a Wayne Foundation. He was like, let me get this right. You think that the richest, most powerful man in the world runs around at night beating criminals half to death, and you want to blackmail this person? Like, gotcha. Okay. Yeah. that is pretty stupid.
But honestly, I haven't even really looked, because I watch a lot of comic book channels, and I was watching some of the ones where they show you like the hot books of the week. I haven't seen that in a while.
Yeah, we haven't done that in a while.
Haven't seen those in a while. I don't know. It just feel like with all of the stuff that's going on in the comic world, it just feels like too much. With all of the characters and the storylines and all of that. My favorite two movies with Morgan Freeman is Bucket List and Glory.
According to John.
Yeah. I never saw Bucket List.
my favorite thing with Morgan Freeman was the electric company. Johnny said Lawrence Fishburne, that's right, was Perry White in Man of Steel and Batman versus Superman. The guy who is the chief editor at the Daily Bugle, where Superman works.
He works at the Daily Planet.
Oh yeah, Daily Planet. The Bugle, excuse me, the Daily Bugle is actually the Spider-Man's newspaper.
Oh, okay.
But Daniel, yeah, just sit down.
Yeah, see, Daily Planet.
Daily Planet. Yeah, I said the wrong newspaper. But yeah, you know Perry White.
Yeah.
Lois's boss.
Yeah, I know who he is.
Your friend Lois.
Superman's girlfriend. I liked it when he was with Wonder Woman.
They've done away with that now.
Yeah.
Completely.
I don't like gender race swap with Billy D as Two-Face or turning Commissioner Gordon being black, but I still like Billy D, but not
to use as Commissioner Gordon, says Robert there. Yeah. I mean, he's not a bad actor at all.
He was fine in Star Wars.
Yeah. He was fine.
He's not a bad actor. It's just when you're used to something and you say, we're going to do a movie based on this. Yeah, you take some liberties, but you certain things you just kind of leave alone. You leave the characters alone. You can fluff up the storyline, but I think you should leave the characters the way that it was imagined.
Yeah, and then they try to get around that with all that multiverse garbage now.
Yeah, I think that helped confuse a lot of stuff with the movies and the comic books, because I think that's like a way of escape. It's like, oh man, we really screwed this up. Let's say it was the multiverse.
Yeah, and the again, that's why DC did Crisis on Infinite Earths and invented the Anti-Monitor character, because they were already going down that path and saw the problems and wanted to clean it up. And so the Anti-Monitor destroyed those universes in that storyline. But then they're right back where they started. And even further, they've gone well beyond where they were before.
Well, then they came out with The Blackest Night, and they started killing people because they had all of these characters from these different worlds and universes come into The Blackest Night. And they were killing them off because they had in the Green Lantern Blackest Night. I didn't finish reading that because it got too confusing because I didn't know who half of the characters were. And that's when I went and got a lot of the book. Like they had the question in there, and then they start you off in the middle, which I understood. If you've been keeping up with all of the stories, when you got to that, you would know what was going on. And Batman was already dead, and it was just a lot going on. So I was like, whoa, I need to go back to the beginning, read all of this stuff so I'll know what's going on here. Because it was just too many characters from too many universes, and I didn't know what was going on. So I liked it when he was with
Lori Lamaris.
Oh, that's the friend from school, right? I think that was his friend from school.
Lana Lang.
Oh, was the friend from
school. Anybody's better than Lois.
Yeah.
So
you get a hooker off the street. Are you getting any hot toys? Predator? No.
Blue Splash. She has one. She has the original one. She has the original one.
Yeah. I have one.
Yeah, she has the original one.
I'm not going to get any more. I actually, and I said this before, I love the Predator. I like the way he looks. Is a guy on YouTube. He has like every Predator hot toy, statue, buff, and the whole house, and aliens. And he went from, I think, the basement up to the top floor, and every wall, every seemed like square inch of that house was nothing but Predator and hot toy, Predator and aliens. And that's it. And it looked really good. And I liked it before, but when I saw that, I was like, man. And then in the top floor, I guess it was like the attic space, he recreated the ship with the aliens and the Predator on it.
Oh,
and that was done really nice. And I'm like,
it looks like the lab.
Yeah,
from the second movie or something.
Yeah, but nothing else was in the collection. None of the other characters from the movie. No, Sigourney Weaver. None of that. Just the alien. Just the predators, and that's it. And it was like, wow, that looks really good. But I like the way they look. And I was thinking about getting some of the NECA ones when they were out, but I just never did. Yeah, because NECA, I remember when they came up to like 200, when they had their 200th Predator. Yeah, and they did like something big with that.
I want the original Kenner ones. I had the whole set of the original Kenner
ones.
I
saw
I would like to get those back.
Yeah. Wolfie was saying in the new He-Man, Man-at-Arms and Triclops is black. But see, again, that's why I don't understand it, because they had black characters in the show. Yeah. What was the Cosmos guy? He was
Zodak.
Zodak was black. Duncan's friend was black.
The archaeologist.
The archaeologist, and it was somebody. Clamp Champ. I mean, so you got the characters, and that's what really throws me, and it gets frustrating, and why you don't want to see it, because it's like you making people something that they're not when you have characters. And if you want to promote the blackness or whatever, get the people that's already that, and make them and put them in the forefront. You pulled Man-at-Arms back, put Zodiac in the front. Put his name was Decker. Put him up front, promote them, and then people are like, oh, okay, that's.
I remember that guy.
Yeah. Then they'll want to go and see more and learn more, but not when you making up some stuff. And it's like, well, how can I go and find out about this guy when that's not what he was to start with? Anyway. If they use a Mexican, the land of, I think I bomb it. That wouldn't fly. You would have a problem. You would have a major problem on your hands. People will burn down the theater.
Oh yeah.
They will riot. They will protest. People that would never watch the movie would protest. They know nothing about the character, but they heard they would protest.
Yeah. Robert wants to know if you still have your Bela Lugosi, of course.
What do you mean still have? Where is it going to go?
Well, she hasn't seen it, though. He wants to know how it's holding up. It's still packed up.
Yeah, it's still packed up in its original packing. So I hope it's holding up well. I took it out the one time to review, and that's the last time I seen it. Funny, made a figure, a Predator that I want. Oh yeah, I do have the NECA quarter scale Predator. I do have that. They re-released their quarter scale Predator.
Oh, the NECA. Yes.
Yeah, because
that's right.
It was really expensive, but they re-released it at the original price, and I got it. So I do have that. So yeah, that's the two Predator figures I have.
Oh no, Johnny! Don't even joke about that.
I'm surprised they haven't made a male love interest for Clark Kent named
Lois Lane. Yeah,
no, Lewis. Don't talk too loud because they will. No,
because they already did that with his son, and it was a disaster.
Yeah, NECA predators have a tendency to break this Frankenfrog.
Because I've heard of people complaining, like, they had the quarter scale Ninja Turtles also. I've heard those figures have, like, the ankles that get weak and they fall over on display, and and pieces would break, shatter off, the elbows would snap off and things like that. So,
who is Kylo Ren? Isn't that the girl? Because Raccoon Eyes said people are freaking out over the black Professor Snape. Now I saw that because you told me who that was. They wanted Kylo Ren. I guess the actor that played Kylo Ren.
From the newest
Star Wars that the girl
trilogy? No.
Oh, okay.
Kylo Ren is is Han Solo's son.
Isn't that one actor?
It's the guy with the crooked nose.
Yeah, and he's tall and got the black hair.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I know who you're talking about. We saw him in a movie where he was like a small town deputy sheriff, and it had Tom Waits in it.
Oh, that's right.
Tom Waits was the homeless guy living in the woods. Okay, I know who you're talking about now. Yeah, Adam Driver. That's his name.
Yeah, and that's Daniel sitting in the chair behind us.
Nobody's seeing that.
Yeah, Robert just asked who's in the chair back there.
Oh,
that's Daniel.
Yeah, it's Adam Driver. Now, from seeing the picture of the professor, what's his name? The Professor Snape, and knowing that guy, I can see that person.
Because in the new film, they swapped him out
with a black guy,
which doesn't make sense, because if you're reading into it properly, Snape is secretly Harry's father the whole time.
So Harry's mixed?
No.
Well, it gotta be mixed now.
If they're gonna make it, well, that's the same thing as like a Black Human Torch, and how can he be Sue Storm's brother unless one of them's adopted? But that's Snape was covering the whole time, and this, that's part of the lore, that he could be Harry's father secretly, who was supposed to be dead all that time. But yeah, there's already canon. It's in the story that way.
Yeah.
And people have already seen the film. There were 8 Harry Potter films. It's well established.
See, and it's stuff like that when you got a lineage, you got some kids, you got things going on, grandkids and everything. You can't just change a person's race.
Yeah.
When you got 6 kids and 3 grandkids, you can't change the race, because now what do you do with them kids? How do you explain? You white, and all that. Well, I married your mama and she had you already, and I just adopted you as my own. Okay. I guess you could do it.
I guess it could be like Steve Martin in The Jerk. If you remember that scene?
No, but I know you told me about it a million times.
He's like, because he was adopted, but he's white, and they're all like down south, and it's a down south Black family, and then she's explaining about that he was left on their doorstep or whatever, and he goes, "But you mean I'm gonna stay this color?" Because he's like 30.
Oh my God.
He thought he was going to get darker. Neville.
Who is Neville?
Neville was the name of the character, I believe.
Is Marvel bringing out a new Ninja Turtle?
I have no idea, John. They don't need to reboot it again.
But they did a cartoon with the April.
Hey, so don't you scratch that.
Next reminds me of the Fraggle Mondo with the limbs
fragile.
Oh yeah.
With a snapping at 250. Yeah. Don't get me started. Johnny wants to know if we're going to paint the walls.
You're going to do something.
I'm going to dip my head in the bucket, and I'm going to paint the walls with my hair. Who knows where that's from?
I don't know.
Who said that they painted the walls with their hair?
Nobody said.
Somebody knows it. Somebody's got to know where that comes from. I'll tell you. I'll answer that in a minute.
Wolfie says if you got history, you can't mess with the history.
You shouldn't.
Ain't Saturday morning.
Yeah, they did make a jerk too.
Oh.
Yeah, they did make a jerk too.
So who did they recast Steve Martin with? With a black guy?
No, I doubt it. I doubt it. I doubt that it was. But yeah, there's been several films that did not need a sequel. You already know, guys. You already know.
You don't need to go down that road. Santa Claus, the movie, the elves paint the toys with their beards.
Says Trevor. Did they?
I don't know.
Well, there's been a lot of Santa Claus movies, but yeah, nobody's gonna get that one actually. Who painted the walls with their hair? I'll tell you. Yeah, that's right. Splash 2 Saturday morning.
No.
It didn't need, the first one wasn't good.
Wasn't that the one with Tom Hanks and the mermaid?
Yes.
Oh my! They did it too
Part
bad. Oh my God.
The person who painted the walls of their apartment allegedly with their hair was the Reverend Jim Ignatowski on Taxi. Jim Ignatowski is your answer. Actually, Johnny should have known that one.
Why would Johnny should have known that?
Because he's familiar with that actor. Because he was in Back to the Future.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. But that was his thing. Oh yeah, we in college we dipped our hair in the paint, painted the walls with our hair. Like, oh, that's great, Jim. Yeah, thanks for that.
Speed 2 on the boat.
Oh yeah, that's right. Drive. Oh, you're over the water. Jump out.
Yeah.
Just.
Yeah, that's all you had to
jump
do.
Off the boat.
The bus made a little more sense, but not a boat.
Not a boat. There's so many films that the sequel just killed it. RoboCop 3 was not good. RoboCop 1 and 2, fantastic. RoboCop 3, bad idea. I mean, there's oh, Johnny, you never seen Taxi? Really? Okay. It's a fun show.
I remember it being on.
It's 70s. I mean, yeah, you barely remember.
Yeah, like Barney Miller.
But it was a fun show. It was actually really well written.
I don't know.
And
I remember Barney Miller.
Yeah, Barney Miller.
Short Circuit 2.
No, that's awful. They try to go to the well one too many times with some of this stuff. Yeah, Christopher Lloyd played the same character. Even on Pam Anderson's short-lived show Stacked, he plays the same character. Yeah.
She had a show.
Christopher Lloyd, of course, is Jim Ignatowski from Taxi. He's had a lot of significant parts in the 80s and 90s. That actor. He was in Who Framed Roger Rabbit. He was the villain. He played Uncle Fester in the Addams Family movies, which actually weren't bad.
Didn't he burn down Louis' apartment?
Yes, he did. He accidentally set fire to Lou's apartment.
They did a part 2 and 3 of the Never Ending Story?
I know there was a part 2. I've never seen 3.
Oh, wow. Oh,
part 2 is okay.
Final Destination. And they got a new one coming out? And Puppet Master.
Yeah. They don't need another Puppet Master. God help us.
Yep. They don't need another Final Destination either. Saw.
They didn't need, the first one didn't need to happen.
What, Saw?
Yeah.
The first one wasn't bad.
Saw's a gore porn.
Christmas Story 7? Are you serious? No.
Christmas Story?
No, it didn't.
There's 8 Christmas stories. I've only seen the first one.
Smokey and the Bandit.
Johnny, Smokey and the Bandit should have stopped with the first one. I'll give you that one. Because the only thing that's even worth seeing in Smokey and the Bandit 2 and 3 is the sheriff and his son. Hey, behave. Is the sheriff and his son's interaction is absolutely hilarious. But Smokey and the Bandit 2 was terrible, and the third one was so bad Burt Reynolds wouldn't even be in it. So, yeah.
I agree with you, John, and that's what I'm saying. You have characters already. You don't need to steal a person's identity theft, and make up something. Just like, what's his name? Sam Wilson is Falcon. No, not Falcon. Yeah, he was Falcon, right? Yeah, Falcon is the black guy that's and his name was Sam Wilson. He was already black and a superhero. You could have just kept him that way as Falcon. He was already that. You didn't have to make him Captain America so that he could be a black Captain America. He was already black. He was already in the movie. All you had to do is boost up who he was, the Falcon. Yeah. You didn't need to do all this extra stuff. Yeah, you got, what's his name that I like so much? The Voodoo Man.
Brother Voodoo.
Brother Voodoo, that's his name. Brother Voodoo. I mean, it's a lot. You can sit here and name, everybody can name about 5 different black characters and probably not mention the same one twice. But, that's the time we're living in.
Yeah, so, well, what are you going to do?
I know.
Bandit had 6. 3. I didn't know about the 3 TV movies.
Jeez. Puppet Masters are good. Oh, all of them? I thought I've seen I saw the first one. I saw a couple of more. It seemed like it was getting
tedious.
Yeah.
But anyways, we are past the 2-hour.
Yeah, I agree with that, K-Unit.
Oh, and then Bobby Fish just jumped in here too.
Who? Hey, Bobby, how are you? Puppet Master started my horror and action. Oh, okay.
Addiction.
And that
they still make them too. They still make 1-to-1 scale ones. But we're gonna go ahead and start wrapping up because it's getting late.
Yeah.
Special thanks to Pastor Rick for making a donation to the channel today to help us out with our felines, with all the shelter cats that we take care of. We need all the help we can get. We appreciate it. Watch out for, again, we did a live this morning from Retro Toy Swap. So if you haven't seen it, check it out. And watch out for our haul video. It should be coming out tomorrow. So, hey, thank you everybody for joining us here today. Hope you had a good time. And we will catch you again sometime soon.